kept you waiting, huh? I'm sure you did. I'm sure there's tons of people out there that are listening in right now and just, you know, happen to be distracted at the moment. Alright, where was that? You know, I should probably check these stream settings before going live, yeah. It'll probably be more... probably be better. But whatever. What am I if not a guy who lives on the edge? Okay, yeah, that works just fine anyway. But welcome all. Welcome one, welcome all. We are back with some more highlights. Definitely not me forgetting what word that was, because I never practiced these intros beforehand. I never write these intros, I never do them, everything's just off the seat of my pants, like a true streamer. Hey, Stoic, welcome in, how you doing? Alright, oh yeah, right, I should probably announce it everywhere. Good, just playing some jam games? Oh, what a coincidence, me too. We have the same hobby, I think. Alright, and of course I forgot to write up the announcement. Okay, hang on. Yeah, alright. Oh, right. I forgot to edit my first post on the itch page. Whoops. Yeah, I think I have it. Hang on. Do I have the highlights? Do I have last highlights on my YouTube channel? I better. If not, I should hurry up and export that. Yep, okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, so I have it. That's good. That's good. Where are... Alright, yeah. There it is. Oh, hey, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate that. Well, now you have the ability to use the animated emote, and whenever you want to, whenever I say something dumb, yep, there it is. Fun fact, that's actually that emote was made as a joke by Zephyr, and that's my game's character for Prayer of the Faithless. That's getting pat. This was back before I had my Soy Jack avatar, but yeah, it's fun. So now you can do. You can use that emote, and whenever I say something dumb that you want to immortalize, you now have access to the quote features, which is, yeah, add quote, and then put in the quote, you put an exclamation mark in front of that, and then just type in something that I said. You can now do that without having to spend channel points. And then you can, well, anyone can just put in a random, yeah. You just do that as well, and then that Nightbot will show up periodically to put out random quotes that I've said that in the past. And don't ask me for the... Yeah, WTF. Yeah, that is... Yep, that is most people's reactions. Don't ask me for the context, because I don't remember the context for half the stuff that I say. But yeah, they are all things that I have said at some point or another. I think we have... Don't worry, I don't kink shame. I don't think I was doing that. I don't remember what I was doing, but I'm 90% sure that was not what I was doing. I wasn't trying to express myself in a weird way. And for the full list of quotes that I have said at some point, there you go. You can enjoy that. I think we're at like 160 something right now. Let me check that really quick. Yeah, 164. Yeah. You know, some of these actually should probably be cut. It's about time I trim these a little bit. But, whatever. Some of these are funny out of context. Like, the whole point is that they're supposed to be, like, WTF. Make you go, what is that? Yeah. Okay. So we have... Wait, did I post it on... Oh, no. Okay. Blue Sky, and then Twitter, and then I gotta head on over to the... Oh, there it is, already there. And good stuff. You're now ready to go. So, what is next? Okay, yeah, so we're gonna get on with the games there. Oh yeah, okay, so I got 2 for today because I need to, now that we're back with the highlights, these streams are gonna get a little bit shorter because I need to at least get a couple more games done and judged, because I'm trying to at least do like a couple every day, even on days where I stream, because that takes some time out, but I'd rather just get on with it and then just highlight as we go along, because if I were to wait until the judging was done before I highlighted stuff, I'd be here for like another like 3 months, because there are some good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in here that's worth talking about. So let's do that. Actually, we've got 2 games on the list for today. One of them is, hey Zeke, welcome in. How you doing? So I'm trying to be cute again today. So the theme behind these 2 games today are effort. Now, there's a lot of... I've been lurking in some of these... I'm sorry, did Twitch... Wait, what the... Did Twitch adverts just repost my post on Twitter about the Game Jam judging? What is Twitch adverts? Streaming hard, let us handle the promo. Follow and @message us whenever you post for a repost. I did not @ you at all. Was that a bot? Oh, it's 153 followers. Okay, that's got to be some kind of bot. Alright, well, that was weird. Anyway. So, effort, right? I've been around and lurking in a lot of different comment sections for some streams. And one thing that I keep hearing, one common criticism that I keep hearing a lot, is the word lazy. Lazy devs, lazy game, lazy etc. And based on my own experiences, where I'm coming from, lazy is not something that you can just use to describe a lot of games. Right. There are simple games. There are games that certainly don't look like they take a lot of effort. And sometimes that is the case, right? I'm not going to pretend that every game made was by someone that was super hardworking, and yeah, every single game was like a massive labor of love, and that obviously that's just not the case. However, the games I'm about to show you today are games that are undeniably put in a lot of effort. Because sometimes some games that you play don't have the effort on screen. Sometimes the effort is in other places than just the graphical presentation or the or the gameplay design. Like sometimes, like you know that there's gonna be a lot of effort put into these games, and I wanted to talk about games that put in effort that I feel are worthy of attention, and kind of talk about where they put effort in. Sometimes they're in the right places, sometimes they're in the not. But simple doesn't always mean no effort. I should have wrote some of this stuff down before I went off on that, yeah. Anyway, so games here have their effort, the games that I'm about to show have their effort pretty clearly shown on screen. But I feel have agreed, yeah. I had this all out in my head, but now that I'm actually doing this, the words are failing me. Yeah, so I should probably read this stuff off a script from now on. Anyway, all right, here we go. Let's get started with our first one. Hey, Fortuna, welcome in. How you doing? All right, so first game that we have is Project V.A.S.T. by Steel Soldier. Now, I've looked at a bunch of Steel Soldier artworks in the past. Like, he's on the Discord, and I'm playing V.A.S.T. right now. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Hey, Steel Soldier, welcome in. Speaking of the devil. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Or speak of the soldier, and he shall appear. Now, V.A.S.T. I don't think anybody can look at V.A.S.T. and say, hey, well, that got him out of lurking. That's fine. Lurk if you want to lurk. No problem. I don't look at my my live numbers anyway, so yeah. Whoops. Yeah, I don't look at my live numbers anyway, so it's fine. Like, don't feel like you have to stick around. Just like if you need to dip, then dip. It's all good. So, V.A.S.T. Welcome to V.A.S.T. Please stand by. I've watched Benny play it, Hawk play it, and now you, and I'm playing it too. Yeah. You are free to proceed. Press any key to continue. It's just that good. Yeah. And look at that. We're right into the game. No one else is here. I should be next then. And then... okay. Found a chip. Greetings, volunteer. My name is Oxel, the doctor's assistant. The doctor is ready to see you. Go right ahead. So one thing that gives Steel Soldier a very immediate identity, something that just sticks out, is the use of kind of a, I don't want to say a complete monochrome, but mostly monochrome art style. Also, thank you for the arrow. I didn't know where else I needed to go if that arrow hadn't pointed me there. But there's going to be a lot more to that than just an art style, as you will see pretty soon. You must be the new volunteer, CGA robot named Steel. Is that correct? That is correct. Good. Everything checks out then. I am Dr. Sakura, and I will guide you through this experiment. In a few short moments, a suit of armor will appear in your room. When it shows up, make sure to equip the armor. Understood. Well, look at that. Press key. That zoom, I know that zoom in caught me off guard when I first saw that. I was like, whoa, hold up. You're not just showing a picture? Oh, okay, you're zooming in. All right. How does the armor feel? So far, not too bad. A bit heavy, but I could probably get used to it. Noted. It might take a while before your system notices the armor. Do not panic if you experience any changes. Error. Error. System shutdown. And we're dead. System reboot. Based on the 403 previous samples, this was not observed. To emulate a more retro look, I have a 25 image size, 50 image size, 75, and then 100 for the zoom, all playing about 10 frames per second. For the zoom. There it is. You know, thank you, Steel Soldier, for unwittingly saving that mess of a speech I had at the beginning. So, you didn't have to do that. And, you know, I didn't realize that until Steel Soldier brought that in. But those are so you're saying that those are 4 different images that you had? And they just changed images, image as you went through? So it would have been simple enough to just take a picture and then zoom it in. But no, apparently there's 4 different images that just play side by side. They are the same image, just resized differently in game. Wait. Okay, so you didn't actually have a zoomed in. Okay, so you didn't have one image that just stretched out. You just set it, you immediately set it to different sizes? Is that what I'm hearing? In the show picture, you can resize. Yeah, I know you can resize. I just didn't know. I'm not sure exactly how you did that. Wait, it can't be. This little rebellion is over now, Doctor. This base is now property of Ultimus mercenaries. The prisoner possesses armor that refuses to be detached. Activate the dismantler. Okay, just dismantle the prisoner then. Okay, I see. Wait, what is this place? I am unable to run, by the way. Oh. Well now. Effort.
Steel Soldier Online.
Look at that. Impossible. Okay. No need for a battle tutorial. It's just like, yeah, you hear the commands, you figure it out. Which I can definitely appreciate. Listen to those sound effects. Because holy shit, they are incredibly punchy, incredibly satisfying. Even choosing options from the menu has a really good sound effect attached. I feel incredible. I should examine the room for anything worth taking. Despite the fact that this is animated, which draws the eye to it, there is nothing to examine here. Yeah, you found 2 repair kits and 1 emergency kit. You should probably isolate. Because you're using a monochrome art style, it's very easy for stuff to blend together. So I would recommend not having like an item that you can interact with next to something you can't interact with for the start. You know, once players figure out, oh, this is what a chest is supposed to look like, then go for it. Probably would be best though to just initially just keep it up, just have it on its own so we can see it, and don't have it animated. I will keep in mind that is a good suggestion. Yeah, and also the animated stuff draws the eye first, and clearly that's not something that that we could interact with. Even if the subjects escape the room, they can't get past those reinforced doors. Want to bet? I will put that theory to the test. Be gone. And then you just get to the front. And that was when I noticed that, oh, you regenerate all your MP? I think that's what it is. MP. After every fight. Which is a great system that encourages you to just go all out, and you don't have to worry about preserving yourself. Yeah, see, I just went straight for that. In fact, you can probably, because look at this, look at how bright this is. The brightness that you have here makes me think that this is something worth interacting with. So, yeah, I would probably have something interactable with that little white motif, because that sticks out a lot more. Yeah, see, like at this point, I'm not quite sure what's worth examining and what's not. Because remember, your player character has the white outline, so that already makes it pop out. And so you would assume that other things that have the white motif going on should also pop out. Over here, Steel, I can give you a bit of help. Yep, I decided to go for a stamina-esque system. You regen per turn and also out of battle. Is it regen or is it just like immediate restoration? I'm pretty sure it's just immediate restoration and not really regen. Whoops. Increase maximum HP by 2. Why not? Makes sense. The interactable should have the bright highlight colors, and the non-interactable shouldn't have. I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah. Power AoE inflicts chaos on enemies. If only we knew what chaos did. But hey, you'll have to figure that out by just using it in battle. There is something to be said about not telling players absolutely everything. Like, the more I work on games, the more I realize that there's no, like, one hard and fast set of rules that every skill, every different approach is different. So, just because this game doesn't explain to me what chaos is, doesn't necessarily mean. But it does mean I'm gonna have to spend a little extra time figuring it out. Now, next question, did I inflict chaos on any of those enemies? I don't know. Remember, we're at the very start of the game. Sometimes games may... Whoops. I just went the exact different direction. I thought I was... it's been a while since I played this, so I thought I was just going to explore everywhere else before I moved on. But alright. Yeah, let's go back through here. Yeah. Hello there, Mr. Steele. Glad you are still with us. Sadly, Dr. Sakura has been taken by the mercenary force. That is awful. Do you happen to know where he was taken? I'm not sure. The doctor was a high priority target. It is very likely only high-ranking Ultimus members know. Hey, Ten, welcome in. How you doing? So we have to get out of this base, find out the location of the doctor, and rescue him. We should also see if we can contact V.A.S.T. They might be able to give you valuable aid in these tasks. In the meantime, you should probably get some repair kits from the chip converter behind me. Is that a chip converter, or is that a power strip? Oh, yeah. It's power. Would you like to convert 5 chips into a repair kit? Chips. Okay, that's just currency. So, and then the question becomes... So, as a player, I remember my thought process when I saw this. I was like, why would you give me the choice to convert 5 chips into a repair kit? It makes me think that there's a way... Yeah, it makes me think that there are other uses for chips, because if there weren't, then I should not be given this choice. Be like, hey, here, convert all these chips into a repair kit. Just keep going. Whether that's true or not, that's irrelevant, because that's just the thought process that I had. Because remember, we're at the start of this game. All the I try to throw as many rules out the window as I can, because every game likes to approach things differently. So just starting over, I see, oh, okay, this is how you're going to handle chips here. All right. Don't know if there are any other uses for those chips, but okay, we'll just take that as we... Did we inflict chaos on anybody? Because there are no visible state icons. But that's okay. You may not need visible state icons, because that was already an AoE. Oh, it wasn't a full EP regen. Okay. Because, yeah, the AoE and an additional status bar, which means that this skill has multiple uses. Which is awesome. Hi, Boston Nova and Mob Pals. What am I, Mob Boss now? Whoops. That value is loud. The game is super loud. How about that? Is that better? Yes? Alright, good. Good. It's better? Alright, cool. Yeah, these games, I have to do like a sound test all over again, like for every time, because everyone will have different mixing. Another small detail that I really appreciate is that every enemy that you see on screen was part of the field. So you run into one of them, you fight all of them, and then they all go down. Boom. Yep. Oh, I had 2 infantry belts, huh? Okay, cool. While I'm here. Nope. Oh yeah, also, you want to know a very quick and easy way to... what is it? A very quick and easy way to help contextualize your game. Just rename some of the default names. You know, weapon, accessory, offhand, weapon, shield, body, helmet. You can just rename them. Primary, core, body, belt, module. You know, you're a robot, so of course, you wouldn't have standard human equipment, and that already helps. It's a small thing, but it helps you get immersed into this specific world, because now it's just more than just a generic, you know, RPG. You know, generic fantasy. Yeah. I want to keep the stimulant name. Hey, D7, welcome in. How you doing? How you doing? What did I just do? I have no idea what I just did. Bag of chips. This is a weird one. A bag that has chips in it. I guess it just gives you one chips. One single chips. Plural. Whoa, the impact you feel. Yes. Yes, that's another reason why I wanted to highlight this game. Sound design. It goes a long way. That was the most intense chest opening that I think I've ever experienced in any RPG Maker game. All through the power of sound design. Yeah. Okay. Nope. So with the status effects in RPG Maker 2K3, from what I'm aware, the only way to show them visually is by looking at the enemy themselves and seeing if they have the status written next to their name. Okay, well, that is a way. That is a method. Let's put that to the test. Still not sure what Chaos does. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what it does because I beat this game already, but a new player is not going to know. They'll just have to keep figuring it out. Where do you think you're going, Tin Can? Basically. Yeah, let's just go ahead and use Rebels. Lag. Wrecker, overdrive. Lag? Whatever lag is. Power up, yeah. Boss music is awesome. Okay, I don't remember if that was RTP, because I'm fairly certain the random battle music, that is RTP. But I don't recognize I don't recognize this boss battle. This is RPG Maker 2K boss music, yes. Awesome. I'm far less familiar with RPG... Oh! There we go. I'm far less familiar with RPG Maker 2K RTP. So, yeah, a lot of this is new to me. That robot, not sure why the R is capitalized there, underwent some kind of power-up mid-fight. I wonder if I can do something similar as well. Phenomenal work. Let us try and locate V.A.S.T members. This is better than Expedition 33? Damn. Well, Steel Soldier, you got the D7 seal of approval. Better than Expedition 33. And all it took was just a month. Auxil is now accessible through your inventory. Whatever that's supposed to do. Give advice. What do you need, Mr. Steel? Current objective, status. Oh, well, there we go. Chaos is a status that causes enemies to attack each other. Weaken lowers the damage done by enemies. Lag slows down enemies, which means they end up acting less. It is important to note that drones are susceptible to status effects. Why is it important to note that drones, specifically, are susceptible to status effects? Unless you're saying that they're more likely to get hit. When I hear that they're susceptible, that means, oh, you can inflict status effects on them. Which, yeah, should be a given. Okay, ad start in 43 seconds. Okay, hang on a minute. Actually, guys, for those that are not subbed, I have a favor to ask of you. So Twitch, you know what? This is a good opportunity for a quick PSA. For those that stream, Twitch recently rolled out a couple of new features. So if you go under monetization, and then it was, I think not subscriptions. It was what was it? Yeah, monetization and then subscriptions. There's a check here called ad-free viewing, which is subscribers. I misread that. I'm dumb. All right, never mind. But there's another one called shared discount promotions, which is enroll your channel in promotions where viewers are offered discounts, which you share with Twitch. If you're a streamer, just know that you are opted into that by default. So basically, do you want to give Bezos more money? No? Then yeah, go in there and delete that. Uncheck that. Just something to keep in mind. Okay. Sorry about that quick little detour there. But yeah, here we are in the semi-ish open world. And I gotta admit, when I first saw this, I was like, oh god, we're not gonna be able to beat this, are we? Steel is now inside a cave. He can see a tunnel up ahead. Well, that's an interesting change of pace. We had a fully explorable area, and now we're doing a menu-based exploration. Let's go back, because I think there was something else I wanted to do. I'm trying to retrace my steps as best as I can when I played this first. Howdy, stranger. What can I offer you? Oh, there is a shop. Well then. There you go. And that's why you were given the choice to convert your chips to repair kits. Which is weird, because when I saw this, I was like, okay, then why was that last one handled with just a menu? Why could this not have been a shop? Just kind of makes you wonder. Repairs 2% plus 1 HP per turn in battle. Alright. We're going to do that. Shopkeeper hands you a little data chip. A very tiny chip with a V insignia on it. What could that mean? If you want to find V.A.S.T, you'll have to dig deeper. The message ends there. Dig deeper, huh? Yeah, we're gonna need that. Alright, let's save. So I think now it's time for us to dig deeper. Yeah. Go through the tunnel. There are 3 paths Steel can take. Of course, he can always go back. Kind of weird that suddenly we're going into third-person narration, which, yeah, we've been following, Steel this entire time. So who's talking now? Anyway, let's go left. It is a dead end. However, you see a graffiti on one of the cave walls within the world V.A.S.T with the word V.A.S.T written on it. Okay, what do we have here? The graffiti seems fresh. You are not entirely sure why it is on a wall in the middle of a dead end. It is a dead end. However, you see a graffiti on one of the cave's walls with the word V.A.S.T written on it. Okay. Then let's go in the middle. This tunnel is specially dark. The tunnel is specially dark, but you see a path that you can take. Why would I? Okay. That was a weird one. Why could I not just... Why did we have that last picture at all? Could have just gone right in here. Steel thought it was a dead end until he saw 2 holes on the ground. Okay, go down the left hole. Steel sees lights up ahead. Very likely there are others ahead. But are they hostile? There's the key. You found 4 chips. Also, just for full disclosure, I did actually beat this game. Sometimes I don't make it to the very end of some games. I just let you guys know, but I did make it all the way to the end for this one. Just FYI, Steel, I finished this with about 45 seconds left on the clock. So, like, boy, you paced this very nicely. It was almost exactly within an hour that I was able to beat this. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah. I think I need some sort of tool to extract these without breaking them. But then, what would that be? Halt. Benny took longer, like 10, 15 minutes. From what I remember. What, 10, 15 minutes longer? Well, I know Benny does like to stop and chat with you guys a little bit, and I know sometimes he adds on to the clock because of that. Just to make sure that every game gets a fair shake. So, was that like a grand total, like 10, 15 minutes, or was that like without the yap? Halt. There is an intimidating aura coming from the robot in front of you. Are you sure about that? I'm the one with the white aura around him. I'm the one with the intimidating aura, not this guy. The robot carcasses that were behind you likely came from mercenaries. On further inspection, the robot seems to be using armor very similar to yours. State your reason for being here. I require assistance from V.A.S.T to search for Dr. Sekira. 1 moment, with no period. Alright, I have successfully confirmed your identity. You are free to go inside the base. Stay out of trouble. One can't be too careful these days. The mercenaries have intensified the attacks these past few days. Okay, performing essential maintenance protocols. Are you a volunteer? The thing about this is that everyone here is a robot, right? And robots were designed with specific functions. Like, sometimes, like, I don't think the rules were firmly established yet, like just how free these robots are. So to call this drone a volunteer means that this drone obviously was not built to perform the tasks that it was doing, but it just did. It chose to do it, which is interesting. Okay, from what I remember, whoa. By the Reconstructor, you surprised my sensors. So surprising that you capitalized you without needing to. I am Scopus, the engineer in charge of this vast makeshift base down here. It might not look like much, but it is state-of-the-art anti-detection tech. That is nice and all, but do you happen to know where Dr. Sekira is located? We haven't been able to focus on the search with the increase of mercenary attacks on our base. Who's Dr. Sekira? Why do we care? So one thing that I kind of wish this game did was establish more context. On one hand, I do appreciate you just putting me right in it and just letting me go. But all I have right now is Steele's word that Dr. Sekira is somebody that I want to rescue. I, the player, am not yet sold. You just have to empathize with Steele's mission here. And why is Sekira important? I know he's the one who gave us the armor. I don't think it's been established yet if he's the one who developed the armor. Yeah. Okay, from what I remember, Benny had to go over the 1 hour limit, but even after going 10 minutes over the limit, he was about 10 minutes before finishing. I think because he ended up backtracking at some point and taking longer. Well, unfortunately, that's the risk that you take with a more non-linear approach. Because you can tackle these objectives in any order, but because of the rather open world, I don't want to say completely open world, but like the expansive overworld, the chances, and there's no map as well, and the chances of you getting lost up here are not zero. However, it seems you were also able to get there unscathed. Perhaps you could also assist us. There is a mercenary base holding volunteers as prisoners east of the cave entrance. One of the prisoners might know the whereabouts of Dr. Sekira. Base east of the cave entrance. Got it. Before you go, take these. 2 emergency kits. Best of luck. Also talk with other volunteers if you can. They might be able to assist you. I believe this is where I'm going to stay for the time being, Mr. Steele. Best of luck. That should be capitalized. There should be a period right there. Well, alright. I did not get a chance to... What do you need, Mr. Steele? Okay, yeah, there we go. That's kind of weird that he would be an item that's so... that can leave you so quickly. But hey, at least he's here. Like, I don't know why this guy stays here, because what if I needed a quick reference for status ailments? Then I lost that now. I'd have to go all the way back here to check that. You require some assistance? I think I have something lying around. You receive 1 repair kit and 1 iron capsule. Thank you for the capsule. Here's your capsule. Yep. Probably could have just taken that myself, but alright. This battlesuit was developed by Dr. Sekira. Okay, there we go. I love it when games just immediately make a liar out of me. We recovered an old damaged robot in space that had outstanding combat data. Dr. Sekira used that data to create a suit that can bestow upon the wearer increased combat performance. It is essentially leveling the playing field. We couldn't fight back against the mercenaries before, but now we can. Every V.A.S.T member tries out the suit to test their compatibility with the armor. Depending on the percentage, the user will have more power granted by the suit. But it is also possible for the wearer to increase the percent the more they use the suit. It is encouraged that even non-combatant personnel uses one. Hey, Rythane, welcome in. How you doing? Alright, you probably need a tool in order to deactivate the force fields. I believe I can make a gadget that does that. On your way here, there were some crystals. Use this tool in order to harvest them for me. I have all necessary materials. I just require 3 of those crystals in order to make the gadget. This is something that we would call padding. Because why would you make me just go around and just... What is it? Yeah, that's it. That's all we needed to do. Like, with a mission like that, I was like, wait. You know that we only have 1 hour with this game, right? It was like, why would you make me do a task like this when you could have just as easily just have the mechanic have everything that you needed? It would be one thing if the crystals were guarded by some kind of enemy, or something that would teach us how to use like a new mechanic. But as far as I can tell, unless I'm remembering wrong, yeah, that was just one and done. We got nothing from that. That was just a waste of time. Force field remover module installed. Oh. When you called it a module, I thought that this was a module equipment. Well then. Then I guess we just make our way out. Yeah, there's no enemies around here either, so there really was nothing to be gained from making me go around and just hit those crystals. Okay, let's explore the cave a little bit more. The tunnel, middle path, and then right hole. What's down here? Chips, and then... Oh, another way out. Nice. Okay, yeah, I already came from there. I know, east of cave entrance, but I just need to double check and see. Oh, by the way, yeah, you can't go back through here. Which is kind of weird. Not sure why that was... Not sure why that was a thing. Alright. And then the right path. We see a bridge surrounded by stalagmites, and an unknown robot stands before you. The robot seems ready to fight. Alright, let's go. And that's when I remembered I should have healed. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Alright, I got this. There you go. That wasn't so bad. He was kind of intimidating right up until just now, but I guess not. This area of the cave is wide and open with a single bridge surrounded by stalagmites. Going forward. You found a stash of chips. Someone likely left them here in a hurry. Alright, sure. 25 chips. Not bad. Alright, let's get out of here. Okay, east. That's where we gotta go. Alright. Oh, this guy's just by himself. Okay. Simple enough. I'm just gonna ignore the other guys. This door is not going to stop me. Very nice. So I can't help but wonder, and this is just me thinking out loud here. What happens if we came here first and we didn't go to the V.A.S.T hideout? Because again, with the expansive open world, you have to imagine that a player would go through these in any order. Right? So, including orders that you may not intend. By the machine. What are they doing with the prisoners? Is that a hypothetical question? Yeah, kinda. Yes and no. You can answer it if you want. It's just something to think about, right? Because when you make an expansive world like this, then you have to take into account the fact that players may not go the directions that you want. If there's an intended order to take this in, then that should be apparent. But if you don't have, but with this kind of world, the intent there will be no intended order. So if that's what you want to happen, then great. But I played a few games by some devs that have think that an open world by itself is enough to move units. And if you don't think it through, it's just going to bite you in the butt. I might want to find another way to disable these, or the prisoners might be at risk. Perhaps there is something in this prison that allows me to shut down the force fields and open these up. I like how it shows you your potential rewards if you go back and explore a little bit more. Awfully quiet. Almost like so the lack of music makes me think that this is supposed to be, and the lack of enemies as well, kind of makes me think that I'm supposed to be doing like a stealth section. Like it's not actual stealth, but it's like, you would think that this place would be a bit more guarded. But considering this is a game about a fighting robot, you know, it's not exactly. Ah, there we go. Prison cells and personnel room are locked. Warning, opening cells and personnel room without authorized access will trigger the alarm. Yeah, go ahead. Time to kick some mercenary sorry ass. You did not have to do that, but you did anyway. And I appreciate it. And then Titan bucket. Ooh, Titan bucket. Looks like it belonged to a giant robot. Ooh, okay, yep. Gonna take that. We'll use chaos. Well, chaos is clearly not working. Hello. Hey, Wind Rider. Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? You won. 21 experience games. You found 9 chips. Now, as I was playing, I started to notice something. And I didn't know how true this was going to be, but we've gotten this far. I think it's a safe assumption that this is going to be a game with only one party member. Now, if that was made clear in the game page, great, but it's worth noting that we don't use game pages as material in games. So, you take a big risk when you have a turn-based RPG with only one party member. I really thought you were done with all the jam games. Well, you thought. What kind of Undertale game is this? And why is it so loud? Is it still loud? I can lower it a little bit more. There you go. Nope. We are only halfway done. I was so wrong. You were super wrong. Oh, man. You were super, super wrong. The music's supposed to be loud. Actually, for me, it's the sound effects that are much louder. No, we were just taking a break and playing some Yakuza. Just doing some pirate Yakuza shenanigans as a break. But now we're back into it. Anyway, to finish up my tangent. So, okay. Wait, enhance your skills to new heights. Well then. You thought you deserved a break? I knew I deserved a break. Like I always say, you have to be in your corner at all times. I deserved a vacation, a whole week vacation. Off in the mountains where nobody could bother me. So enhance your skills to new heights. Your basic punch has been removed and all your other skills have been enhanced. Well, basic punch has been removed. Uh-oh, but that was my skill. That was my 0 skill. Oh, but there it is. I forgot to use that upgrade skill for way too long. Hey, Stoic? Hey, Stoic? Yeah, me too. In fact, I think I didn't use it. Baba Booey. Hey, John Erico. Hey, Ozzy. Welcome in. How y'all doing? Bad news, I'm still a newbie at RPG making. Who cares? Literally, who cares? You shouldn't. If you're enjoying making RPGs, that's all that matters. Everybody was new. We're just having fun. So, as I was saying, single party member of RPGs. You really need to make sure that your game system is designed around that. Does this game hold up? Well, let's take a look. With our upgraded skill, we have single target attack, AoE target attack, strong single target attack. You may have noticed the last couple of fights that I just fell silent. That's because there really is not much thinking to do. You got a bunch of enemies? Okay, just use your AoE attack. One enemy? Okay, use your single target attack. Well, I totally know this RTP battle music. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially because this game more than makes up for it in the sound design. But anyway, about the battle design. Yeah, there are very few things you have to worry about. Very few things you have to think about. Does that mean that this game is shallow? Or does it mean that you're just not here for the battles? Because I gotta admit, as I've said a couple of times, the sound design is epic, and you can feel every hit. I just did a game journalism there. The sound design is indeed epic. Oh yeah. Now we've seen some Steel Soldier stuff. Like we know. Steel Soldier knows how to make things look good using a limited color palette and sound good too. And because of that, They feel good. But when you take a step back and you think about the actual mechanics of the fight, you're realizing, oh wait, this is really simple. And not necessarily engaging, I want to say. So, and I mean, look at that. Just one AoE attack, and then you're done. Now, granted, I'm doing much better now than my first time because, like Stoic, I also forgot to use my upgrade until, I want to say, I got my second upgrade. So I went through like most of this game without upgrading at all. Now, granted, that's on me. That's my fault. But here's the thing. Let me walk you through what got me in that state of mind. Steel Soldier, so pay attention. Let me show you how I was handling battles. Once I understood how simple this battle system was, watch what I'm doing very carefully. Did you notice what I just did there? I just started mashing through everything. And because I started mashing through everything, I completely missed the notification that I had an upgrade skill that I learned. Because by this point in the game, I thought to myself, okay, this battle system is not going to get much more complicated than that. Which, granted, not everything has to have like Sekiro levels of precision, right? But when I start getting into a flow, especially with something as simple as this, a very quick message saying, hey, you learned upgrades, the upgrade skill, that's going to very easily go over your head. And I kind of wish I checked this. I forgot to check this, and I'm mad at myself for not checking this first. I can't save to check really quick, but does that upgrade... So, you know what, Steel Soldier, you tell me. Let's work this out together. Does the upgrade skill command appear during battle? Because I truly do not remember seeing it until I just happened to catch it when I was looking through my skills after upgrading to a different armor. I think I went there. It only shows in the menu. Yeah, so that's another concern. Actually, okay, so I did that. Hang on, let me check something. So I think it was like right here, I want to say. Nope, this wasn't it. Okay, well you already confirmed it. It only shows in the menu. Yeah. That was originally supposed to be part of the skill tree, so it would be more apparent. So my question to you, Steel, is why have it part of a skill tree at all? Why not have it why not have an upgrade module? Defeat a mini boss, you know, gain an item. You take it back to the V.A.S.T base, and then you upgrade your armor right there. I'm not saying my suggestion is better. I'm just kind of talking shop, just trying to figure out, you know, what other options were there. Because I'm pretty sure I made it clear that I just completely glossed over that upgrade. And, you know, we've already have an account from somebody else as well that this happened to. So if it happened to me and if it happened to somebody else, imagine how many other players that it happened to and they just never vocalized it. Or they never streamed it, so you never saw it. You picked up what seems to be a very small data device. It seems like the data is encrypted. You decide to take it back to V.A.S.T. Speak, and the game makes a liar out of me, and then the game also presents a perfect opportunity. You know, could have picked something else up. Like this thing that I picked up could also serve as the upgrade. So there were several ways that you could have handled the upgrade. You know, why make it a mandatory skill? Or better yet, we have a story moment here. Why not just give me the upgrade right here and now? So you are the robot who has been causing so much trouble, no matter. Get ready to be terminated. You know, it's always very intimidating when the boss character comes up and it's just the basic random battle music. And so here's where boss fights come in. You know, your strategy, there's no strategy change. There's nothing new that you do in fights. It's just hit your attacks. Which, granted, if you're the type that enjoys the feedback of the sound design, maybe that's enough. You know? Again, not everything has to be super in-depth. But personally, as I'm going through this, I'm like, okay, well, I've already proven that I can beat this boss. I already know the strategy. So once I figure that out, there isn't really much left keeping me invested in this fight. Also, now the fight's long enough that the music just looped, and you can hear it start over. Hey, there we go. Finally, one of them got inflicted with chaos. There we go. There we go. So I could have had that whole. We could have had a whole conversation while I was fighting that. I'm just like, was that really the best way to do it? Just, I don't. I did. Wow, I've never stayed on here long enough for that to happen. But yeah, it's just hit AoE, spam AoE, spam AoE, spam AoE, spam your strongest attack. There's no real depth to this combat system. So your enjoyment of this game is going to be purely ride on whether or not you enjoyed the sound design. This ends now. You couldn't transform mid-fight, huh? Well, there we go. Now we're fine. Oh, 1 health. So I thought it in a number of ways. Wait, what is this? Okay, AoE. I did think about that training sequences that the character would have at certain points of the game. The upgrade is meant to signal that the character is strong enough to improve his skills. Which is fair enough. Yeah. Like, I'm not disparaging, like, the idea behind the upgrade. Oh, well, alright. Sure hope we had enough skills. Yeah, sure hope we had enough to survive this, because now I'm all out of healing. But the problem remains is that your battle system was not necessarily complicated. And I'm dead. Oh, that was a fight I was supposed to lose. Would anyone else feel a little angry that they just used all those healing items for a fight that you were supposed to lose anyway? Hey, Rag, welcome in. Winova, what's up? Skill issue. Wow. One chat. You went from, hey, Nova, how you doing, to you suck. That's all it took. Man. Getting no respect around here. And then... So, Steel Soldier. The upgrade is meant to signal that the character is strong enough to improve his skills. Was there anything about that animation that just played that did not indicate that the character was strong enough to improve his skills? Because that seemed like a very good opportunity to me. Hi Nova, I'm happy to be here. Fuck you. Yeah, that's you guys in a nutshell. Hi Rag, jumping in just to say skill issue. What, you telling, wait, are you telling Rag skill issue? Drop the mic and hop off. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, well. So now we just do the same thing. Just punch. Joke's on you, I like it. What was the hotkey? I forgot what the hotkey I had was. Yeah, there it is. Bad rag. I mean, not rag. Bad John Erico. You know what? You're all the same. You're all the same. Bad, all of you. Just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score? Damn. Yo, times out all chat. Yes. Yes, good. All of you go expend yourselves elsewhere. Sub-only mode. I know you, John Erico. I think that sub is taking a double meaning there. Then I'd have to leave. That took a toll on my generator. Oh, damaged generator. This generator is barely working. And yet I still have the standard generator in my pocket. Hey, you got me. I know you. I know you way too well. Good evening. Hey, Masked. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Not sure why I still have the standard generator when the damage generator is already there, but hey, whatever. I'm not sure why the menu popped up as well. I'm doing all right. Hey, that's good. That's good. So, what do I do now that I've damaged my generator? Well, with no guidance, I'm just left to wander on my own. Actually, you know what? I think I have... Isn't that the crystal that was supposed to have been expended so that I could get my... so I could get that shield disruptor? Oh, okay. More items. Okay. By the way, how are we on time, I wonder? Steel Soldiers game. Hey, Ryan, welcome in. Everybody's coming out today. But yeah, this is, in fact, Steel Soldiers game. I don't know how long you've been lurking in here, Rhyme, but if you looked at this screenshot or looked at this game and immediately was like, oh, that's Steel. Yeah, that should Steel, you should take that as a point of pride because you have a very distinctive style. I just woke up. Nice. So I'm part of your morning routine, huh? All right. Good to know. And on the combat gameplay stuff, I definitely agree with your points. I wanted some status effects and some enemy mechanics to be included. Mainly a stun and also a few other debuffs. On RPG Maker 2K3, the status effects, from what I am aware of, you can only double or half the character's attributes. Oof. But hey, so, you know what? You are putting a lot of... Don't take this the wrong way, but you're making it seem like a lot of these problems are due to 2K3. So then my next question to ask is, why did you choose 2K3 as your engine? It's not this was not a 2K3 contest. Yeah, you are my morning cartoon. Steel explains the events that transpired inside the prison. Scopus is quiet until Major Menace is mentioned. Major Menace? And you defeated him? And he's dead. Everything okay, Scopus? I need a moment to process this new information. Alright, I think we can continue with this conversation. From what you mentioned earlier, one of the prisoners had a data device of some sort on his hand. I have it right here. You give the device to Scopus. So, Steel, the reason why I brought that up is because, you know, I'm not accusing you of, you know, being lazy and like trying to pass off all the faults of this game as the limitations of the engine. But I am saying that we all made our choice for when it comes to engine choices. You know, we had plenty of engines to choose from, and if we understand the limits of these engines, then It's our job as devs to work around them. I'm well aware it was not a 2K3 jam. I wanted to shift some of the focus to the art direction, so I deliberately used RPG Maker 2K3 because I knew the scope would be too large if I used a newer engine. How? Everything I'm seeing here, I feel like could be done in newer engines. I don't see how the scope would change because of the engine. Nova knows when we cheapen up. No, but here the thing is, Theo, like as a judge, I'm not going to use the engine as a justification for why some things are one way or the other. So when I play these games and I judge them, I assume that everything that I'm seeing here was a deliberate design decision and not a limitation of the engine. So when I see this simplistic battle system, I don't think to myself, like, listen, as a dev, I understand that things have to get cut as the deadline approaches. As a judge, I can't really make that consideration, It's like I see this and I have to judge what's here. So when I see this very simplistic combat system, I'm not thinking, oh, this must have been a product of time limitations, right? I was like, oh, okay, this was like, it feels to me like the devs sacrificed, made the choice to put their effort on the art more than the game. And I respect that. But is this an art contest? No, it's not. Oh, hiya. Hey, Wrath of Wood. This is a game development contest. So, it's true that presentation was a category. But there was also a gameplay category, and a theme category, and several other categories. And I can't just say, oh, this was simple and not engaging. I'm well aware. I know, this isn't really me talking to you. This is just kind of talking in general out loud, kind of at you. Like, yeah, sorry, I don't mean to sound like I'm condescending or anything. But yeah, this is where we're at. Because what I'm seeing is the game having very simple combat difficulty. And simple execution. Yeah. Tragically, just not any mercenary ship. It is Ultimus' ship. You might have defeated Major Menace, but going to Ultimus now would be straight up self-termination. Your generator is going to blow up if it goes through more stress. If he has a broken generator, why not head towards the energy research station instead? Pretty sure that was a typo there. You mean the station that had to be abandoned due to safety hazards? Oh, that sounds like a great place to train. Yes, that one. I know it is insecure. However, the likelihood of it having generators is pretty damn high. I dare say it might even have an upgrade or two. Well, that settles it then. You can check the breach pod on the northern part of the asteroid. Another upgrade, despite the fact that I just got an upgrade. Okay. That's fine by me. You already enter the coordinates on the beach pod console. How are we doing on time? Oh no, there's no way to tell how long we've been at this. Huh. Oh well. Let's go a little bit longer, because actually, I think we've been doing this for about an hour, right? Let's go a little bit longer. So yeah, effort. That's one of the reasons why I was using effort as like a little theme in this game, because clearly the effort was there, Even simple basic animations are super hard to do. So the fact that you have something like this, with as complicated of animations as you have, that was a lot of effort. I definitely appreciate it. But all that effort for one single target attack, one AoE, one single target, one AoE. Like, And because I don't have any MP, which that's weird. I was so sure that I would regen most of my MP or EP. But I guess not. In fact, I think I'm not regenning MP at all. Must be an effect of the module. In which case, I didn't know that the module. Oh yeah, the generator. Sorry, the generator. Standard robot generator. Yeah, I had no idea that. Let's see. This generator is barely working. So I would recommend having reworking this description to be like this damage generator does not recover EP. Or have the standard generator said, hey, this generator recovers EP every turn in battle. I understand that there is a difference in. I understand that there mechanically it makes sense, and I completely approve of it. But I feel like more should have been communicated to the player. Not a good idea. I'd only exit the pod once I get to the station. So, question, why is this happening? This is the second time that I've seen a very shameless padding section in this game. First it was the crystals, now I just have to literally sit there and wait for 1 minute. Granted, it is a minute. This was meant to be a cutscene. So okay, so more stuff should have happened here. Alright, that makes a little bit more sense. But it wasn't. So why was this left in? I wonder. Because, again, as it is right now, that was just padding. I understand that these sometimes, you know, you put everything you have into your game, and sometimes either, you know, life can happen and you don't really have the time that you thought you did. But again, all I can really look at and judge is the end product. This is the console to change the current sphere that is docked to the station. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, the sphere that I needed to do was... Shoot, I forget which one. Warehouse stores energy cells, power core. Okay, so I need to get the warehouse one. And then... drones, and then testing. Okay, cool. So I need to get to the warehouse. Where there is a new generator waiting for me. Okay. Whoa. Uh-oh. Pretty sure I'm not supposed to be able to do that. Again, I keep going for the ones with lights on them. Wait, what was that? Master generator? Meteor guard. Okay. Oh, pretty sure I'm not supposed to be able to do that either. Uh-oh. Oof. Alright. And then here I am just here I am just wandering. This core underwent several modifications after blowing up the entire testing sphere. The likelihood of it happening again is only 0.01%. Oh, okay. Not a problem. I can already feel my circuitry overheating. The untested core. Gotcha. Yep, their tiles sets were supposed to have an X on. Funnily enough, when you're playtesting, you end up not running into objects, which means you might not be able to tell something is wrong. That happens. Happens a lot. Yeah, no worries. This was not even remotely close to game breaking, so I just look at that and be like, that's alright. By the way, Nova, how many judges are playing one game for the second round? Don't you worry about that. How about you go in and just check out the judges' streams and then just see what they're doing. Then we need to test this. Yeah, we need to test the core that we have. Yeah. You're not going to get me, Rhyme. I know you're trying to bait more information out of me. It's not going to happen. I'm way too slick. Way too slick. I suppose this was also supposed to be a cutscene, right? Steel? Because, yeah, I'm just standing around not doing anything. Trying to figure out, why am I here? Good time to contemplate life and all your choices that you've made that lead you up to this point. Like, why did I decide that judging this was the way to go? I could have slept. You know? I could have been working on my game. But instead, I chose to judge these games. And now here we are. Time to go to the assembly sphere. But that's what happens when you let players just kind of leave them to their own devices. They get existential. The last time I was surprised, Benny also judging my game after you highlighted mine. Yeah, well. Again, I'm not really sure what's okay to tell about what's going on behind the scenes, so I just... Is that Riggy 23K from the Spacemaker 23K series? Is that all he is now? He's just a dot? He's just been reduced to a dot? A sparkle? This is Riggy we're talking about. The newer versions of Riggy should be shining way brighter than that. But yeah, it's like, so... Like, we're not the ones that are responsible for communicating what is and is not okay with how the jam is ran. That is left to the organizers of the jam. And you can get that info by going to the FAQ page. So yeah, that's what's going on. Climb the stairs and give the assembly machine clear instructions. Hi. Hello, smiley face emote. What needs to be assembled? Replace generator. This procedure will take approximately 3 days. 3 days in which the mercenaries can do whatever they want. Do you wish for this procedure to start now? Yeah, sure. Nice. Smiley emote. Now where are we? Oh, young Steel. It is time. I need to grab my V.A.S.T card and leave. There are rumors of whole colonies disappearing without a trace. Either way, I will be safer in V.A.S.T. You grab the V.A.S.T card. Wouldn't it be funny if the animation loops for 3 days? I'm sure it would be funny for a random Twitch comment. But hey, as a judge, I wouldn't even be able to see it for 3 days. Join the fight against space tyranny. We are the vanguard. I didn't mean to go that way. I should have went up. Oh, well. Look at that animation. Steel reached level 16. Upgrade Plus was learned. Steel test. Reached... Test? Test? Excuse me? Test. Am I a test right now? Procedure went flawlessly, smiley face emoticon. Also, there are some strange robots inside the station. They were shouting something about Ultimus. Thank you for the heads up. I'm sorry, was that... Hold up. You all saw that, right? That was the assembler name tag, not Steel. Oops. Okay, so just FYI, Stoic, I don't know if this is going to make you feel good or worse about yourself, but hey, Stoic and Soldier... Just know, it was at this point, right here, that I saw the upgrade. And I was like, oh shit, I have another upgrade skill that I used instead, that I should have used. So, up until this point, I'm pretty sure I pretty accurately recounted my steps, retraced my steps for this game. But up until this point, I did not upgrade. I did not use the upgrade. Just FYI. It wasn't until I was actually forced to look at it, because I was reading the text, that I noticed, oh, there's an upgrade. And because I was in a very comfortable pace the comfortable like flow of combat that I wasn't really paying attention to my skill list out of combat. I had no idea that there was an upgrade. So here we go. Upgrade level 2. Your rush skill has been improved. You have also gained 8 power and 5 speed. It does make me feel better, actually. Wait, you found it earlier than I did? Alright, well. I am especially dumb. Well, there you go. Free 0 upgrade plus. Alright, rush. Power damage may weaken foes. Okay, Omega Breaker. Okay. Neato. Alright, now we're good. And this, I believe, will be where we stop for today. I mean, with this game. Sorry, I meant this game. Because there's another game that I wanted to talk about. And I want you guys to go and play this game for yourself. If you feel blue-balled, good. Go out and play this game. Give it some more downloads. Play it yourself. And go tell the dev how you feel. Because I wanted to shine a light on this game. I'm not going to play the game for you. Fenrir's Prelude? What, this game? This game ain't Fenrir. Thanks you for the feedback, Nova. No problem, Steel Soldier. So, I thought you wanted to stop the stream early. Well, we are going to stop a little earlier. Because I want to get to some more games and judge them some today. I had some errands I needed to run, so I haven't actually been able to judge any games yet today. So I want to get at least a couple done. But final thoughts on this, and I'm going to give you a write-up later once I'm done with all the judges' games. But just off the top of my head right now, thoughts. Visually, there's no question. This is amazing. Hey, Holder! Welcome in, guys. How you doing? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I need to give a shout out to Holder. Holder needs some... Listen. We have... Holder is a great... I bring 2? That's perfectly fine. You could bring just your own self here, and that would have been great. But you brought in Quiz? You brought in Jin? Oh, we got the party started right now. All right. There we go. Hey, I think that was the first time I actually did a shout out. I didn't know how to do that until I just experimented with it just now. Holder, this guy giving us all free resources, asking nothing but love and affection in return. So let's give him some love and affection. Give him a follow. Okay, so visually, let's just get the obvious stuff out of the way. Visually, beautiful. Presentation, I love it. A monochrome art style, but you can get away with a very distinct look when you do that. It's amazing. Sound design. Listen to that. Whoops. Like, navigating a menu feels punchy, which I don't think I've ever played an RPG Maker game where punchy is a descriptor I would ever use for navigating a menu. Excellent work on this. However, oh yeah, and the animation was fantastic. I loved it. However, this is not an animation or an art contest. It's a game design contest. And unfortunately, I feel like the game is a little too simplistic. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with simple. But when I look at all the depth and the complexity and the imagination when it comes to game design for all the other entries, I just look at this and be like, this is... I don't want to say boring because, thankfully, what would have really made it boring was if enemies had a lot of health. But they didn't. So, it wasn't too bad. It's simple is not going to cost you anything. But this could have been way better. Not better, excuse me. It could have been more than what it is. And based on what I've heard you saying, it sounds like there was a lot of stuff that was left on the cutting room floor. Which is not a problem. I completely understand that. But as a judge, I can't let that stop me. So, everyone else, that is correct? Oh yeah, absolutely. Like when it comes to Game Jam games, I just assume that there's a bunch of stuff that's left on the cutting room floor. That's just the nature of games in general. You know, it doesn't even have to be a jam game. if anyone's played Prayer of the Faithless, you might be interesting to know that, that like, I don't want to say half the games, but there were, starting about the halfway point of Prayer of the Faithless, every character in that game, every story had 2 dungeons per chapter. But starting like halfway through the game, there was a lot of burnout and a lot of crap that happened. And so it went down to like one dungeon per thing. Hey, Holder, thank you so much for the resub. Oh, that's so nice. Benny said combat needed at least 1 extra layer, which I agreed with. So I'll have to take a look at Benny's feedback, but for me, it's not about layers. It's more about you have a lot of repeatable skills in here. You already have your high damaging single target attack. You don't need another one. You really don't. Now, granted, and actually earlier we had 3 single target attacks. We had your basic punch, we had rapid assault, and then we have dive bomber. And then now we have 4, Omega Breaker. Your new skills, when it comes to a single character party, new skills, well, this is my philosophy in the first place, but this is especially important for single character parties. New skills should not be stronger versions of old skills. A new skill should add to your strategy. They should add to your options. If you have Omega Breaker, if you have enough MP to use Omega Breaker, you literally have no reason to use Rapid Assault. None. So you're doing a good job. This one actually makes a lot more sense because it's true that Chaos and Rush are both AoEs, with one being much stronger than the other. But the difference between these two is that Rush can weaken a foe, Chaos can inflict chaos. Those are 2 distinct options. And those are choices that a player has to make. What choice do I have to make between Omega Breaker, Dive Bomb, and Rapid Assault? Omega Breaker, there's a choice because now it's extremely powerful, but there's also a drawback. So now there's a choice to be made by the player. But we have Dive Bomber, and then Rapid Assault, and then Basic Punch, which are all just single target damage. You are not making choices. That's the difference between choice-based gameplay and reaction-based gameplay. Because the only reason why you would use Rapid Assault is because you don't have the MP to use Dive Bomber. That's it. That is not a choice made by the player. That's just a consequence of EP management. Chaos versus Rush, that's a choice because of the different states that you can inflict on enemies. No such choice exists here. So, that's what I think would make this... Oh, I forgot. What did you forget? Dive Bomber slows enemies down. Is that right? Well, I didn't even realize that. You know what? Now that you brought that up, I do remember I was fighting, what was it? Like the first boss? And randomly, I think his state just appeared as lag. I was like, wait, what? What happened there? Okay, well, that makes a lot more sense. Well, cool. Well, now that we know that, that takes a lot of what I said out. Because now there's a choice to be made. That is my bad. Yep, that's true. But remember, just FYI, I'm looking at these again. For those that are new here, for those that are just seeing this for the first time, this is not a live judging session. This is a highlight. So I've already played this game. In fact, I've already beaten this game. So I've already scored them, which means if I learn something new about this game, which makes it, which would have changed my opinion otherwise, it's not going to change anything. The score is already set. I'm not changing it. So that's why I'm cool with devs just kind of coming in and explaining things and saying, hey, this actually has more going on to it than I thought. And I definitely appreciate that. But it's not going to change the score. Because that would be incredibly unfair. If I were to highlight things after I've had my hour with the game and then I learn, oh, right, there's something else. here that would have made me change my opinion, then yeah, that would be incredibly unfair to the others. So no, everything I learned here is not going to affect your standing. That being said, I sure hope the other judges aren't looking at this, because then their opinion may be swayed as well if they haven't already played this game yet. I don't think the slow on dive bomber is enough to change much either. You know, that's a balancing issue, right? If you don't think it's enough to change, that's fine. But the fact that you're not telling us means that, for as far as I'm concerned, the choice doesn't even exist. Also, hi Valkyria, welcome in. It's just nice to hear you go on and on. Well, thank you. I'm glad somebody appreciates the app. Yeah. I know that there actually is a change now, so I do appreciate that, but as a player, and I didn't realize this when I played this game either. But yeah, that didn't exist. So, okay. But now that I did know that, yeah, I would agree that I didn't notice any difference when I was using Dive Bomber. But now, granted, that was because enemies were very comfortably dispatched that I wasn't really paying attention to the intricacies of the battle system. So there was that. So even if I may have noticed it if I was paying close attention to every single little skill and all the stuff that happens outside of what it tells me. But honestly, because enemies were easy enough to be dispatched, even without these states, didn't really pay much attention. So it is noticeable when it applies, so mostly bosses. Other than that, the weaker foes are likely going to be dead before the status is applied. And that's the rub, you know? I don't expect every fight to be some sort of intense Dark Souls-esque level death at every opportunity moment, right? Especially because, you know, the fact that we can't save everywhere, we can only save at certain save spots, means that if we die, that's game over. We're going to lose a bunch of progress. Now, while I appreciate that, and I did take that approach for Prayer of the Faithless, as a judge, I gotta say, I do appreciate the fact that the game, like, if you don't have time to perfectly balance and fine-tune your game, I personally would appreciate the balance to be skewed in the player's favor than not. Because, you know, the easier your game is, the more of it I get to see during my hour. You know, there were some games that I played that had the difficulty tuned up so high that I actually could not get very far in it because I kept dying over and over and over again. Now, you can say that you could say that's just a skill issue on my part, and, you know, you wouldn't be wrong, possibly. But hey, that's why we have more than one judge for these games. But yeah, if your game isn't perfectly balanced, then it is better to kind of skew it in the player's favor, which, yeah, you did. Maybe not the safe part. You know, again, you have to look at these design decisions within the context of the game itself. Yes, the fact that you can't save everywhere is not the most player friendly, but because enemies are very easily dispatched, that does not matter. The thing about, like, game design decisions is that they alone, one decision alone, very often does not ruin the game. It is that decision within the context of the other decisions that you make. That's what really hurts it. So, yeah. Easy enemies? Fine. Difficult enemies? Fine. Saving anywhere? Fine. Saving only at specific spots? Fine. But now when you combine those two, you can have a combination of those two, and then they can evoke very different reactions out of the player. And granted, when I played this game, I felt like the main draw of this game was the animations, was the whole, you know, DBZ style power progression, which let me just go ahead and spoil that for you. Awesome. Absolutely incredible. I loved every second that I saw a pixel art animation appear on screen. So yeah, that is the main focus of the game. Well, good. Sounds like I got it. But, and if I were a player, Steel Soldier, if I were just a player of this game, that would be enough. I'd be like, yo, this game's awesome. I love it. I loved every second. And then just leave it right then and there. So if I played this game on Pitch Friday, I would have a very, I would have kind of a different, I would have a different experience with this game than I am as a judge. But that is not the role that I'm in right now. So that is that. Thank you so much for looking at Steel. I was gonna call it Steel Game. I don't know why I was calling it Steel Game. V.A.S.T. And 1 second while I do something that I should have done at the very start. But yeah, be proud of yourself, Steel Soldier. Regardless of my thoughts on the overall game, the fact that you completed something at all in 1 month, always something to celebrate, always something to be proud of. So I encourage everyone else here to go get the game for yourself. It's at the very low, low price of nothing. And you can actually finish the game. And then tell Steel Soldier what you thought of it. Because, you know, my opinion is just mine. Yes, I do have a score attached to my opinion. But I feel like the more diverse opinions that come Steel's way, I think the better off he will be. So I think you all need to go get this game and check it out. So, we have played a game that put a lot of effort into the visuals to the point where I felt like the gameplay itself kind of suffered as a result. So, what happens when we go the other way? What happens when we go the opposite? When we do the opposite? Now, the game that we're about to play goes in the other direction. And if you've played this game, you might agree with this, but what the hell? Uncaught type error, cannot read property. This game just crashed before I even got to the title screen. Okay, there we go. I think that was my fault. I was trying to disable, that would have been a disqualification. No, because, hang on, let me see if I can recreate this. Yeah, okay. So what had happened was I was trying to, it started off in full screen and I was trying to press F4 to get it back into windowed mode. And I think I did that too early because, yeah, I just mashed F4 when I started this. This is an MZ game, so I hit F4. If you hit F4 before you hit the title screen, that's going to crash. Error, uncaught, type error, cannot read property, battle system of null. That is not the dev's fault. That would not have been a disqualification. That's literally a skill issue on my part. Yeah. Okay. This game is also, before I begin, can I give a shout out to a new YouTube channel for JavaScript? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. This might be helpful for those that, you know, would like to check out or like to, you know, increase their understanding of RPG Maker. Only has 22 subs? What? Alrighty. Oh, it is for. Oh, it's MZ. It's not just JavaScript. It's like MZ. Okay. Learn JavaScript with RPG Maker MZ. Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. 100 plus videos and it breaks it down to learn. That is awesome. All right. I've been learning loads. Okay. All right, good stuff. Now, sorry to derail. Hey, no problem. No problem. Thank you for sharing, Holder. So the game that we're about to check out right now is called Bravo Assault Team, Adventurer's Trial. And then here is the link to that game. Alright, so... You know what? I'm just going to let the game speak for itself. So let's check this out. Squint? What are you squinting at? Oi, I think I know what you're squinting at. Oh, Comic Sans? Bold choice? Man, who cares? I mean, I care more about the fact that the font changes, like, once, and then twice here. I think maybe 3 times. But I never understood the hate for Comic Sans. I really haven't. Because it is one of the most easily readable fonts. Especially for people with vision impairments. Is the way that all of the Comic Sans unfortunately used so much readable fonts. What do you mean, unfortunately? Isn't that good for a font to be able to read? Sans Undertale reference. It's not a... Hey, Norwanda, how you doing? Nah, Comic Sans just overused and it became cool to hate them. Well, screw those people. If it works, it works. So let's let the game speak for itself here. First off, options. We gotta make sure... Yep, always dash. That's good. Okay, start operation. It is, but then it gets the reputation of that. Well, that's not Comic Sans' fault. That's just the drones, the NPCs that hate on things just because it's cool to hate on them. Most of the story is part of the Adventurer Trail project, which uses the content about terrorism. Nova Comic Sans apologist. I'm not a Comic Sans apologist. I'm my own man. I form my own opinions. I'm not an NPC. All content is fictional and not related to real events. That's good that you would declare that. Though, given that we saw a very fantasy title screen, I think that should have gone without saying, but alright, sure. 1 month before the operation in Acme region. So this is part of a larger story. Alright. Now, I've highlighted games that were also part of a larger story. I still cannot pronounce that. Hang on. I had to move this away because I just realized that my score sheet was on the window that was about to be streamed. So let me just take that out really quick. And then move it over here because I'm trying to find the name of the game. Bushi Yorimaki Exceed. Yeah, that was the one. Barry's game. Yeah. So, yeah, that was also a part of a larger series. Which, you know, I don't want to say sucks, but as someone who is not well aware of these games in this series, this is your chance to kind of help me get on board with that. Right? Imagine having an academy in Acme region. Location, the basement of a casino in the city. So, does this game do that? We'll find out. Do we really need to rely on those people? It would be faster if we did it ourselves. Actually, I didn't want to come here either, but this was his order. Everything must go according to the plan. Nothing must go wrong before the attack begins. I know that very well. I mean, how much can we trust them? This mission is very important. We absolutely cannot let the Alliance know. That's why we're here. Now, let's keep moving. Welcome. We are waiting for you. Are you here for the delivery? Yes, it's us. I am the head of the maids here. My master asked me to meet you here as scheduled. Sorry, but I have a question. There was no guard around here, so weren't you afraid that there might be some troublemaker? We understand your concerns, but please trust us. Our people are everywhere in the city. Even if a rat enters here, it will never be able to get out alive. Even the local government are under our control. That's because they receive money from us. Interesting. I don't know why, but like this, like hardcore, angry, angst-looking face saying "interesting" with an exclamation mark. That just seems so. I don't want to say out of character because, you know, this person has not established their character thoroughly yet, but that just seems like a mismatch. It'd be like if this person suddenly started saying "golly gee." It was like, hang on, that's not quite. That's weird. I hope it's true as you said, but don't be too careless because there are many types of rats. It is called Gatmoe. I call that inconsistent writing. To have Gatmoe, you must have a gap to exist. You have to have one personality established before you can create a gap. Enough, time for business. The three of you are staying outside, keeping an eye on the troublemakers. If you find anything unusual, don't handle it yourself. Let me know first. I will decide what you guys need to do. As per your order. I hope these people are important, because whenever I see a face set, that always reminds me, it's like, oh, this is important. Especially when there's no nameplate. Also, never mind the graphic style clash between this face set and the face sets that we've been using. Please follow me. I will take you to meet my master. We will discuss our business there. Lead the way. How much further until we get there? It's the inside of a building, buddy. You can hike for like a couple more steps. It looks like they're starting to move, but that maverick was right. There are many types of rats, and if you're not careful, you could find yourself dead. Who is that person? Clearly they're slick, they're sly. They're also completely unknown because I never saw this guy again. I don't know if he ever shows up again. Wouldn't know. Just want to put this out there. Unlike V.A.S.T, I did not complete this game, and I will show you why. I read the details from the documents you sent me earlier. Do you want us to ship something from in-between land to Akemi region? That's right, but on one condition. Don't let anyone know what that thing is. Everyone, including you, but the people we don't want them... Everyone, including you, but the people we don't want them to know about this are the Hunters and the Alliance forces. Lot of proper nouns being thrown up here. Maverick, Hunters, Alliance forces. I understand that this is part of another series, but I really hope I'm not expected to remember all this, right? Hopefully, I mean, maybe I don't, right? Maybe there's some kind of journal that would help us keep track of all this stuff, right? That's not your typical illegal thing, is it? Interesting. What happens if someone discovers what it is? If not killed, then disappeared, which means killed. Yeah. Maverick Hunters? Is this Mega Man X? Not quite. We gotta watch out for the Freakers. There's the new faction, the Freakers. Consisting only of John Erico. We heard that you have a network of politicians and mercenaries everywhere. That is very useful for our operation. Aren't these guys just regular criminals? Who are they? More like, who are you? And more importantly, why should I care? Sure enough, you heard it right. So how much will I get if I take this job? 200 million. 200 million? So important that the font size increased. Nah, I appreciate the little $ sign emote. We pay 50-50. You get the first half on the day you pick up the item, and the rest on the day the delivery is complete. What are they, some kind of Suicide Squad or something? Did you ever see that movie, actually? I wanted to see it, and then it came out, and then all the reviews saying that it was like the worst thing ever. I was like, alright, maybe not. The package must arrive in Akemi before next month. It cannot be delayed any longer. The first, yes. The second, there was a second one? Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard nothing good about literally anything Suicide Squad related that has come out in recent years. That was the plan? If the delivery is delayed any longer, the troublemakers will be an obstacle for us. Who are the troublemakers? Could be worse, you could have pre-ordered the Game Deluxe Edition. One's called Suicide Squad, the other's called The Suicide Squad. Wow. Very creative. Sorry, but we don't have much time. We need your answers now. Okay, I accept this job. I've been doing illegal work all my life. This job isn't too difficult for me. Again, So I've mentioned this before, but character writing is information filtered through the character's personality. I accept this job. I've been doing illegal work all my life. This job isn't too difficult for me. These are all facts. There is no characterization for a line like this. Don't be so careless. Don't forget that there are people who are investigating this as well. If I wasn't good enough, I wouldn't be here today. Again, who are you? And this is the part where I have to be like, okay, are these characters from the other games in this series? Because I have no idea who they are. The game's not going to even bother naming them. And the question of, am I supposed to care, has still not been answered. He doesn't know, chat. What do you mean? What don't I know? By the way, who did the leader send to control our operations in Akame region? Dude, that's obviously Craig and Stephanie. Right. If I remember correctly, his name should be Shade. Shade the Spellblade in X Maverick. Oh, this one doesn't get the font color change? Great. So are there any documents I need to sign? No need. I do business using only words and actions. Aren't you afraid of being cheated? Cheated how? This is an illegal operation. Who are we going to bring this to? The courts? But the truth is, I just don't want any evidence to bind me in court. You're a very cautious person. Now, granted, I'm not in the illegal trade, right? I don't handle illegal stuff, but I feel like leaving a paper trail feels like... not leaving a paper trail feels like pretty standard practice. So I'm not sure why... So it says a lot about this person. To say, oh, you don't want to leave a paper trail? You're awfully cautious. Which makes me think that these people are kind of new to the whole illegal trade business. Which, fine, if that's the case, but not really what I expected. Considering these guys are popular enough to have goons. Remember, don't let anyone know what it is. See you on the delivery day. I have a feeling that those people are not ordinary. You know, sometimes when it comes to these judging sessions, it's like I miss a lot of details because I'm still trying to like take all this in at once. But when I just read that, I think I had a bit of an aneurysm. Hey, I'm asking you to do this illegal thing for me. I don't think these people are ordinary. You fucking think? Oh, man. And you just say nothing to her. All right, sure. This is an important job. I will go there to take care of the delivery myself. What delivery? What is so important about this? Why do I care? This game is called Bravo Assault Team. What can I see the Bravo Assault Team, please? That Craig guy seems like nothing but trouble. Yeah. What happened? Why did the power suddenly go out? This is bad for my business. Is that really the first thing this guy thinks of? Not, oh, am I in danger? Is this an attack? Oh, no, it's just my business. Okay. Darling, where have all the girls gone? What the hell is going on? Can we assault something bravely as a team? A kid. How did you get in here? Don't worry, I have no intention of doing anything to you. In fact, the person who will deal with you is not me. Maybe you would assault someplace with the second team? I mean, yeah, that is the Bravo Assault Team. Where's the Alpha Assault Team? That's nonsense. Nothing can be a threat to me. In this world, nothing is permanent. When it reaches a turning point, it must change. Your fate has already been determined. You cannot escape this fate. It's Riku from the second game. Who exactly are you? You came here to talk something like this. You don't need to know that. The candle of life for you and others here is about fading. This almost feels like dialogue from a Kingdom Hearts game. My job is to make sure that fate works out as planned. But don't get me wrong, I'm not interested in you. In a month, you'll be chased by a man and a woman. In a month. That's the same day as the delivery date. No, it's not. It just says in a month. You didn't say exactly 1 month from now. You just said, hey, in a month. They are the ones I'm interested in. You're just a tool to get me to them. When in a small room, be careful of something coming from behind. Until that day comes, stay alive. Yeah, that's... I didn't think you needed an appearance to come up to somebody and be like, hey, stay alive. Alright, but whatever. Darling, are you alright? Hello? The power went out, and... What are you talking about? Nothing happened. Sorry, talking to these people earlier might have stressed me out too much. You've been doing illegal jobs for years, but a short conversation like that stressed you out? Okay. Gotta come up with a better cover story than that, buddy. It's 3 a.m. now and you haven't rested yet. You should go to sleep. You sweat a lot like you've seen the ghost. What do they think I am? I will not be used as a tool by anyone. You are literally agreeing to ship a package. That is what... Oh my god. I will conduct this service for somebody else, but I will not be used as a tool. What I get so far is this game throwing a bunch of characters at us, and we don't know which is the important one. Exactly. That was my impression as well when I first got this. And when they started talking about fate, and I don't want to call it pretentious, because again, this is just one game in a series. So maybe, I don't know if these characters are characters players already know from playing earlier games or not. I don't think the devs should assume that, especially if they planned on getting far in this jam. Guard! Starting today, we will be tightening security measures. Most importantly, we will be screening everyone entering and leaving the city. It's obviously Nova. You think I'm... Wow. The problem is this guy's a bit more handsome than I am, even with all the sunken cheeks and signs of age. Anyone who does not stay at the designated points will have their salary deducted in half. What if it ends up going beyond expectations? And that's what kept me going. I was like, listen. It wouldn't be the first time someone made a game like this and then making a hard left turn into something amazing. The dev doesn't have any other games on their itch though. Doesn't mean they don't exist. They just may not be on itch. What the hell is going on? We've never done this before. Those people are right. We are too careless. It is time to be more careful. I'm going to In-Between Land tomorrow. You're here to take care of the casino business for me. If anything happens while I'm gone, you can decide what to do. Something is telling me this might be the biggest mistake we've ever made. Did you get all that? It's going to be on the test by the time this game is over. 3 days later, Eater City, 4:55 a.m. Location, city entrance. And here we go. Finally, we meet the Bravo Assault Team in the game called Bravo Assault Team. This is the city called Eater. It looks better than I thought. It'd be so funny if they were not introduced to our character and it's no one we met. This is where E27 reported that he had found terrorist movements here 3 days ago. In the game page, this series is called Adventurers Try a Series, but quick search on Google sent me to popular gacha game. What? Yes, and it's not a common group that we can ignore. HQ wants us to find out what they are planning. Is this a fan game? I sure hope not. The sooner we know about them, the sooner we can plan to deal with them. So what is in our mission here? Sneak in, kill someone, steal something, and get the hell out. Seems that way. But it's strange that intelligence is the job of the intelligence agency. Why would they send an assault unit like us into the area? That's because operating this city is very risky, so we will need to call in reinforcements. I know you're on our side, but just to be sure, code 55 E24 AF00578. You guys are more careful than I thought. Pretty sure. What do you mean careful? How do you know this person's on your side? Just do the code, do the call sign, do the counter sign. That's just standard practice. Unit name and code match. Identity verification complete. In field work, sometimes we can't trust anyone. You say right after saying, I know you're on our side. Oh boy. Then it's no wonder you were chosen to be SOF. And E27 is not here with you? I thought I'd see him here. Our target had left the city 3 days ago, so he had to follow the big fish. Let's get to the main point. What is our target here? Our big fish has already gone to sea, but we still don't know much about his plans. The only thing we know is that they got this job from the Maverick terrorist, and this time Maverick has a different font color. So I'm pretty sure it was blue last time we saw that. Everything they are involved in is a threat to peace. But the problem is that security here is much tighter than usual. There are mercenaries guarding the city, making it difficult to find information. That's what I like. I haven't exercised in a long time. Don't underestimate your enemy. If you jump in, you'll lose your leg. The scene looks familiar. Did you see the casino located north of the city? On one hand, you really didn't need to have the camera pan that whole way through. But on the other hand, I kind of appreciate that you're giving us a sense of scale of the city. On the third hand, you've already taken up a lot of time with that super long intro cutscene. Probably just do a fade out, jump, and then fade back in. It's a beautiful place, but what do we need to do here? That's where the Big Fish and Mercenaries' secret base is located. The casino is just a front. Back with food? Hey, welcome back. What do you have? By the way, Nova, have you found another game throwing beyond expectations at every corner in the second round? Let's see. You mean in terms of dialogue? Not yet. Keyword there being yet. It seems like there are secret passages in the city to get there, but we can't exactly pinpoint where they are. Be careful, they won't leave that place unprotected. In short, you want us to find the clues there, right? Absolutely. We don't care about your methods, just do whatever it takes to get them. Okay. Okay, period. And that was interesting. It was like, okay, that means this game takes a very open-ended approach, which I appreciate. I made replicas from serve-to-order chain. Okay. Okay, got it. Thanks for the not-so-useful information. I almost forgot. These are your supplies that you will need during your duty. We have hidden items in various parts of the city. If you